Oh, sorry about that. This video is about why I moved here to South Korea to be a missionary and do suicide prevention. About 4 or 5 years ago, someone introduced Korean dramas to my family. Yes, this is God uses everything. This is a testament to say God uses everything to call you and bring you to where He wants you to be. So I fell in love with the culture in general, and as I was starting to learn the language, I made a friend, and he had posted an article on Facebook by one of the BuzzFeed gals, and she had come to Korea to teach English for a bit. The article she posted was called "I Wasn't Pretty Enough to Live in South Korea." She stated in there that it broke her heart to think that the 4th and 5th graders she was teaching, by the time they were out of high school, 1 and 3 would have plastic surgery. They didn't understand the concept of inner beauty, and so I was like, no, this is not okay. I must go tell Korea they are beautiful the way they are. So after reading that article and starting to develop a missions heart and love for Korea, I started planning a trip here, because obviously if you are going to go live someplace, you should probably, especially if it's another country, you should probably go visit it first to see if you can actually hack it. It came 2014. We took a trip to Korea for 2 weeks, and immediately I knew this is where we were supposed to be. Shortly before our trip, my boss at the time is married to a Korean woman, and his mother-in-law had passed away, so he had to come to Korea for a bit to take care of some stuff. When he got back, he came up to me and was like, oh, telling me about Korea, and then he mentioned that suicide was really high in Korea, and I immediately started researching South Korea and the suicide rate and the different age ranges. People think that the high school students, college students are the highest suicide rate, but actually they're not. They're in the top 3, but they're the lowest of the top 3 age groups. The top 2 are the people between 30s and 40s, and then the elderly. So anyway, when we came for those 2 weeks, I fell in love, and I knew this is where we were supposed to be. I just felt instantly at home, and instantly like this is where we need to be, and this is where God wants us to be. And so when we came back after that, I was like, okay, God, now what? What do you want me to do? And I felt like He was saying, do you trust me? And whenever God asks you if you trust Him, you know something big is about to come. So I hesitantly said, yeah, I trust you. And He said, then go. And I'm like, but He's like, just go. So I had a year left on my lease for my car. So I was like, okay, I have a year to get ready. So started going through things, throwing things out, getting rid of everyone who knows how much stuff I have. I got rid of 7/8 of everything I own. Initially, I wanted to go through an organization, but there's nobody really sending people out to do suicide prevention. I mean, I would apply or talk to an organization and they'd say, oh, that's a great idea, but sorry, we just do church planting, or we just go to help build farms or purify water or help the orphans, but nobody was going for suicide prevention, which started me thinking, how narrow of a view do Christians have on what missions is? And I mean, everything we do in life is missions. Long story short, after being turned down to go through any other organization, I did in fact go and attend YWAM, which was great. I'm not going through them as a missionary, but I did go do DTS, which is the Discipleship Training School, and it's just a little more in depth of God's love for you and God's love for missions and the world, and how missions, how you can do missions no matter what it is. Ultimately, my plan is within the next year and a half to actually establish my own nonprofit, so that others who have the same heart to go out and do suicide prevention, whether it be Korea or Japan or Indonesia or Lithuania or wherever that they have an organization to go through, since I had such an issue. So I am not here under the covering of a missions organization at this time. I am what you would call pioneering. So I am a pioneer. So, but you know what, God kind of made me that way from the start. I've never really gone with the traditional anything. I've kind of broken the mold and paved the way for many things. I'd asked God, like, why did you bring me to YWAM? And felt like he was saying, I'm going to bring people alongside you who are going to be a part of the ministry. I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. And he did. He brought a lot of people. That was a little over a year ago. We moved here in August. So now I'll tell you a little bit more about the vision and plan for the ministry and what the next steps are here in Korea. There's three main things right now that I'm focusing in on and setting up. The church I'm attending already has a small ministry for suicide prevention. They actually go out to the bridges and meet people, say hello, and they've pulled some people off the bridge, which is awesome. And but there's more steps than just that. So I want to set up similar to like AA or Celebrate Recovery support groups, because one of the main reasons behind suicide here in Korea is yes, life is tough and has its struggles and its stresses, but that's everywhere. That's no matter where you are. The major difference between the States and here is that in the States, we can talk about it. We can, if we're having a hard time, we can go to our friend or our relative, or whether they be older or younger, and say, hey, I'm having a hard time. I'm depressed. I feel like I can't do this. I feel like I'm going crazy. And by being able to say those things and get them out, you have the people that you're talking to that can say, hey, you know, I understand. I was there. You know, this is, and so you have that relational intimacy. One of the downsides of the honor-shame culture is that there's not that open communication back and forth between the generations. There's a hierarchy of, you know, well, I'm older than you, so speak respectfully to me. And you kind of have a divide going on right now between the, like, I'd say like 25 and younger, and then of generations above. A lot of 25 and younger are starting to open up more and share because of Western culture. The older generation is still very much the honor-shame culture and, you know, just not showing weakness. And if you can't show your weakness and what you're going through, you don't have anyone speaking truth into your life and truth into your thoughts, and you feel like you're alone. You know, and there's just a lot of things happening that don't get talked about because you don't want to show your human side, pretty much. So all the things are being hidden. I have had different experience here than, let's say, like a traditional Asian face would, because nobody assumes that I am Korean. Nobody, because obviously I'm not. People opened up to me even 3 years ago and told me things because they know I'm not Korean culture and that I'm American and Americans talk about things. So I've always been that friend that people call at 3 or 4 in the morning with a bottle of pills or, you know, whatever they have, and are like, I'm gonna kill myself. And I'm like, no, you're not. And, you know, I've talked many people off their cliff, per se, or off their bridge, and I myself have personally dealt with being at that low point. Had my daughter not been in my car, I would have ran it off the road. And I called a friend and I said, you have to keep me from slitting my wrist right now. And she was like, wait, hold up. And we talked it through, and that's when that's kind of when the ball really started rolling for this. That was, 7 years ago. And that's when I started, like, not stuffing my emotions and started working through stuff. And, now I know I'm called to use that to help other people. The three main things that I want to do with 3 Seconds of Hope to start with is, one, still do this, of course, street ministry is very important. Going out on the bridges, greeting people, asking God to show you people who are crying out. So that's one aspect of is street ministries. And then another aspect is, once you per se pulled someone off that bridge, it doesn't stop there. That's just the beginning. Like when I called my friend after my suicidal point, the next 3 days were tough. I mean, even though I wasn't in that headspace anymore of where I was like, oh, I'm going to kill myself, I wasn't in a safe place. I still had crazy thoughts going through my head, and those first couple days afterwards were crucial. And so support groups, like I was saying earlier, I want to start support groups where people can come and share, a safe place with no cultural judgment or bias, just genuine brothers and sisters that care about what's going on in your life, whether you are a believer or not. But there's someone who's going to be like, hey, come alongside you and be like, hey, I've been there, I understand. Or even if they don't, hey, I've been in a tough space before too, and I get the thoughts that could be going through your head. And you know what, you don't need a degree to relate with somebody. Yes, we need our counselors and we need our therapists for helping us get through the deep underlying things, but just a genuine human conversation can do a lot. And then the third ministry that I really want to focus in on is like I've mentioned before, Adopt a Station, where it literally will cover Korea in prayer. Prayer is our most powerful weapon that we have been given against the spirit world. Adopt a Station is going to involve every single station in Korea and the strongholds and prayer needs of each and individual station. And you'll be able to, like it says, adopt a station to add to your prayer list. If you live in Korea, if you could adopt your own station that you go to every day for work or for school, and just take a couple seconds or a couple minutes when you get off the station and just pray. And and so my goal is to have a video and a profile description of each and every station and its prayer needs. You'll be able to pick either a topic or a station, and if you pick a topic, it'll list out stations that have those particular prayer needs. Feel free to contact me about anything. If you want to know more about the ministry, if you want to partner with me, if you want to just anything. If you yourself are going through a hard time and you just need someone to talk to, you can contact me. I might be in Korea, but that doesn't mean that I'm not here for whoever needs me anywhere in the world. That's what God gave me, a gift of being able to talk to people in their high points and their low points, and I am more than happy to be there for you. So please be praying for us and supporting us in any way you can, and feel free to reach out, and I will be making more videos. Sorry I've been so bad at it, but now that I have more of a set schedule and my days are free, Wednesday will be my record the video day and Fridays will be editing day. So Fridays, Saturdays, hopefully each week I will have a new video up. So please contact me, and I love you guys, and I'm praying for you guys, and remember to shine, and that you are important and you matter. You were created for a purpose, and nobody's here by mistake. So love you. Bye.